going to be talking about soils here, and just a couple different aspects of soils. Can anyone describe what soils is? Yes.
It's like stuff that where you put on the floor and your plants could grow in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's kind of like a type of dirt.
Whoa, you had me until you said that word. It's just one of those pet peeves, I'm sorry. We're gonna let them say it one more time, all right? And then we're all gonna try our best to not use this word the rest of this whole session. You think we can do it? All right, tell us that last word one more time.
Dirt.
Okay, y'all heard him?
Yeah.
All right, we're not gonna use that one again. But every other part of the description was spot on, right? So it's where plants, trees, maybe different things grow, right? Are we standing on it right now? Okay, good job. All right, so we're gonna talk about that a little bit and also the importance of soil in our day-to-day lives. So there's a couple different aspects that I always like to try and talk about, and that is, let's talk about, y'all got new shirts, right? Y'all got Team Ecology shirts. So we're gonna pretend that those are made out of 100% cotton. I don't know if they are this year, but in years past they've been a little bit off, but that's all right. A lot of times shirts and stuff are made out of cotton. Okay, so do y'all know what cotton is?
Yes.
What's cotton?
It's like a material.
It is a material, that's right, okay. But
like soft and stuff.
it is.
You use to make stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like your homemade stuff that you need.
Okay. Yeah, like maybe like your towels at home, your shirts, your pants.
Coats.
Yeah, sometimes jackets and stuff too. All right, yeah, let's think a little bit, because cotton is one of those things that like you kind of talk about it as the material itself, as my man here was talking about, but let's talk about like where does that cotton actually come from? Do you know where cotton comes from?
Flower.
It comes from a plant, right? Okay, that is grown in the ground or soil, right? Okay, so we need that soil to be able to grow the plant of cotton, to be able to pick that product that it produces, to then be able to make it into thread that is then weaved into cloth that is then made into our clothing or other items, as we were talking about earlier. Okay, so is it important for us to have good soil for our clothes? Okay, can y'all think of any other type of clothing product that is that we wear that's maybe kind of warm?
Fabric.
It's made out of, this is a type of fabric that's made into.
Jacket.
Okay, what, sometimes inside of our jacket, what might it be made out of?
Cotton.
Not cotton. Think of another word.
Leather.
No, but that's a good guess too. It starts with a W.
Oh. Wool.
Wool, that's right, okay. So let's think about wool. Where does wool come from? Yes, okay. All right, so certain sheep grow wool, and it kind of grows like hair on them, right? And they have to give them a haircut, essentially, and then they turn that wool into a thread that is then woven into a fabric of some form. And a lot of times you'll see it in like warm sweaters or blankets or sometimes socks, okay? But there's multiple different ways that you can use wool. You don't see it a whole lot around here because it really just doesn't get super duper cold. I mean, it gets chilly here, but not like, man, you're gonna freeze to death kind of cold, right? Although you might feel different sometimes depending on what type of weather you like. So in regards to our clothing, you definitely do need good soil. Let's think about our house. You need soil for your house? What you think? Where is your house? What's it sitting on top of?
Dirt.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Soil. There you go. There we go. All right. So we're trying not to say that word.
Who said it?
We're not gonna worry about that. No need to point anybody out. We're just gonna roll with it, okay? All right. So, and even if your house isn't like, there's different types of houses, right? Some are like straight on the ground. It's like a slab where you just roll right in or walk right in. Some have some steps, those kinds of things, right? But no matter what, it's all anchored into the soil, right? So not only that, but let's think about what your homes are made out of. Does anybody have a wood house? Does anybody have a house that has wood in it? Everybody raise your hand. Everybody.
Oh, yeah,
Everybody.
everybody
Hey, you got to raise your hand. You got to raise your hand. There you go. You were getting in the zone, weren't you? You getting in the. All right.
In the inside of your wall, you got wood.
All right. That's right. All right. Listen. My man here, he's thinking. You were deep in thought. I saw it, and you said the right thing. Say it.
And inside of your house, you got wood inside of your wall.
Inside your walls. So even if the outside of your house maybe is vinyl siding or it's made out of the other thing that we're going to be talking about here in just a little bit, inside your walls, or probably even in your roof, like up in the attic and stuff, before your shingles go on top, there's going to be wood. Okay, no matter where you live, there's going to be wood inside of that somewhere. Okay, so all of us need wood for our home. Where does wood come from? Yes. Trees. Okay, so we go to these trees and we need a 2x4, so we're just like, you know what? There's a 2x4 hanging off of that tree. I'm just going to pick it and we're going to go to the house. Is that how it works?
No, you gotta cut.
You got to cut the tree down, right? Okay, and then that goes to a sawmill that they cut it into specific size boards for the different projects you're working on, right? Okay, some are bigger than others. That's right, yeah. But where does that tree grow? In the soil, right? Okay, so we needed the soil for the wood, for the tree, for the wood, for the lumber to be able to have our house. Does anybody have a brick house or have bricks on your house? Maybe underneath at the bottom or something like that, okay? Yeah, so in order to make bricks, do y'all know what bricks are made out of? That's blocks, okay? What is it made out of?
Rocks?
No, not rocks. Do you know what it's made out of?
Wood?
No. No, those are blocks. So those are like concrete blocks. I'm talking about the bricks that are usually kind of a browny orange color, but they can be multiple different colors. Yep, a lot of times they have circles in the middle. So they're actually made out of, do you know?
Trees?
I'm gonna tell you. You ready?
Concrete? No, it's not made out of concrete. Is it made out of concrete?
It is a type of soil that they're made out of. They're actually made out of clay. Okay, so they take clay, they put water in it, get it in this mixture, they put it into a form, they kind of bake it in an oven, and that's a brick. Okay, do not try that at home. Your parent will not be happy with you making a mess in your oven at home. Yeah, you might not quite be to that level yet. Okay, so don't do that. All right, so do not try this at home project. All right, so you got bricks. All right, so bricks are actually made out of a type of soil. So again, you need to have this to have good soil to be able to have your home as well. Last thing we're going to talk about is what we eat. Some of it might be pretty obvious, right? Any of y'all like apples? I like the right kind of apple. They are good. You know what? You probably hadn't had the right kind of apple. Okay? Some people like green apples. Some people, I don't know what in the world's wrong with them, but some people actually like red delicious apples, and I don't because they're too mushy. I don't like a mushy apple, okay? But you got to find maybe which type you like, okay? Or maybe you like a pear, or maybe you like some other fruit, okay? All those grow in the soil from a tree, right? All right. Now, I'm gonna sum this one up so we got enough time to do everything for this session, especially since it's the last one. I know y'all are just itching to go back home. So, all right, so the last thing is, let's think about food. How about pizza? We got pizza plants?
No.
We do have strawberries, but we're talking about pizza. All right, no pizza plants? Oh, he's thinking again. Got tomatoes, so let's break it up a little bit. We might not have a pizza plant or a pizza tree, but there's different parts to that, right? So let's start on the bottom. The bottom is crust. Crust is made out of dough, and that dough is made out of flour, and that flour is made out of wheat, okay? And that wheat grows in the soil. So we gotta have soil to have our crust, right? We don't necessarily have crust bushes or crust plants, right? But we need to have that soil to be able to grow those individual parts to make that crust, right? Next one's tomatoes. My man said this already. Got to have the tomato sauce, tomato plants. If you don't have a plant grown at your house and you want to grow something you can eat, tomatoes are one of the easiest ones to grow. No matter where you live, you can do that.
What about cheese?
All right, we're gonna put cheese on top. Y'all thinking alike. I see the wheels turning over here. All right, so we got cheese. Where does cheese come from? Oh, her hand went down real. All right, so hang on, listen, because I think this is important for us all to listen and learn, okay? It does come from a dairy or a farm that is a dairy, right? Okay, but ultimately, it's the cow at that dairy that produces the milk that then is made into cheese, right? Yeah. And then the cow also needs to eat grass and hay, which grows in the soil. So a lot of times when we're thinking about these different food things that we eat, yes, we just go to the store and buy them now because it's very convenient in the world that we live in here in South Carolina and in the United States in general, but especially here in our area, we have food pretty readily available, right? But knowing exactly where those products come from and being able to know the importance of us taking care of the soil and the other things around it is key, okay? So just think about that. I want all of y'all to just put your hands out like this for me, and y'all are gonna get some, this is sand. That is sand. That is a type of soil. Have any of y'all ever had that stuff stuck in your socks?
Yes.
When you
every time we go to the beach.
Beach, playground, wherever you.
I always get sand in my shoes.
That's right. And if you leave it in your shoes, it's very rough, right? Yeah. It can give you a blister if you got it in your shoes or something. So when you're looking at it, you can actually see the individual particles there with your eye. You do not need a magnifying glass or a microscope. You can see it with your eyeballs, okay? It actually looks like little rocks, so it's kind of rocky, it's rough, it's coarse, it's hard.
It's smooth.
It actually is not smooth.
It feels
Remember, you've had it in your shoes before. Does it feel smooth?
It feels bumpy.
This is silt.
It feels annoying.
It feels bumpy and rocky.
Yes, right. It's rough. All right. Now, listen. This is called silt. If it happens to have rocks in it, it's not supposed to. The next size down. Smooth is an absolutely excellent adjective for this type of soil. Smooth, soft, powdery. We talked about dough earlier and flour. If you've ever made anything before, like baking a cake or something like that at your house, it looks a lot like flour. Okay?
It kind of does.
All right, if y'all just put that back. All right, the next one, and for the sake of time, I'm just gonna get myself messy on this one. All right, listen, this is clay. All right, now, clay, for me, I really have to think. Because when you get clay, what's the first thing you do? Play with it, you make a ball out of it, you make some kind of shape, right?
Like when it's raining, there'll be like little muddy things and you pick the ball.
You play with it, right? Yeah, that's right, that's right. All right, so you want to play with it and you want to make it into a shape. And your mind thinks, okay, the size of this is this shape that is kind of like a ball, right? Or whatever shape you made. In reality, this is like millions of particles. You would need a microscope to be able to see the individual particles of this, all right? So don't just think, oh, well, clay is big because I made a big ball comparatively. Okay?
You're just getting a bunch of clay mashed.
That's right. And you think about the individual particles, not about the shape as a whole. Okay? All right. So, now, I forgot to mention earlier, but with the silt, which was the second one that y'all saw, you would need to like have a magnifying glass to be able to see the particles, right? Okay. Y'all hold tight, we good. We good. All right, so look, this is sand and water. This is silt and water, okay? I'm gonna shake them up. We're gonna see which one settles first. Settles means sink. Kind of think about yourself kind of settling into a couch or sinking into a couch, okay? So we're gonna see which one settles first. Silt or sand?
Silt.
Sand.
This one's silt.
Silt.
All right, so it is actually the sand that settles. All right, let's talk about why though, okay? remember, sand is the biggest, right? It looked rocky, like little rocks. So it's the biggest and also the heaviest. So it's going to settle first. Silt would then settle next because it's smaller. And then clay would take even longer if we were shaking it up. All right? Yep. Yep. Can you help me out? You stand right here. Stand right there. All right, I'll let you hold the. Yep, come on right here. That's all right. Y'all all will get the help by answering for us. All right, so turn this way so they can see it, my man. All right, so he's got sand. She has clay. So we're gonna pour water in and see which one starts dripping first. And then we're gonna talk about it a little bit. All right, ready? Go ahead. Y'all tell me which one starts dripping first. Oh, I think you're dripping already. Look at that. All right, so y'all go back for me. If you look really, really close, you'll see that on the clay, it's actually still dry at the bottom. Sand is already dripping through.
Oh, the sand's starting to clear up. So, is it sand?
Sand, and the reason that water goes through sand faster is because it's bigger particles. So there's actually room in between those particles for the water to be able to kind of work its way through, right? That clay, those particles are packed really tight because they're very small, right? And that water isn't able to kind of get through it as fast. The advantage of that for clay, if you're planting anything, is that it will hold water really well. So that if you need a plant, then it will actually hold that water well for that plant and you don't have to water all the time. Sand, it'll let that water through to the roots really, really fast, but man, it dries out quick too. Clay will dry out, but it takes a lot of time for it to dry out. The one thing is, if you let that clay dry out, then it's gonna get hard like a brick. If you ever try and dig a hole in the middle of the summer, most of us all have clay in our yard somewhere. It's really, really hard to dig a hole in the summertime because it's really dry. If you're able to do it when it's kind of wet, like during the winter or early spring, man, it's so much easier to dig a hole because usually we've gotten a lot of rain and it hasn't been super hot to kind of bake and get a lot less water in that soil. All right, so just remember, sand is the biggest and the heaviest, right? You can see it with your eyeballs, look like little rocks, right? Then silt. Okay, you're gonna need a magnifying glass. That was the second one that y'all held that felt kind of powdery or soft. And then clay was the sticky one that I had that you would really need to have a microscope to see those individual particles, all right? And they also settle in the same order because of the size. All right, any questions? Thank y'all for listening. Y'all have a great trip back to E.B. Morse.
Do we